Well, hey YouTube, it's Elvis Ammo here. Hey, today in this video we're going to do an unboxing, which I'm sort of halfway done with getting it all out of the box, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to set this machine up. And before we're finished, we're going to load one shell and just see how it works. Okay, just as simple as that. So if you guys aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Give me a thumbs up. If you want to support me on Patreon, click the link in the description and become a member, and we're giving stuff away over there. So let's get started. Alright, I pulled this out of the box, and I'm going to show you what's in it. There's some pretty impressive stuff that comes with this thing that was unexpected for me. This is the 600 Junior Mark V, and MEC makes some incredibly good stuff. There's no debating that. We all know that. Anybody who knows the company, if you're watching this video and you're just watching because you watch all my videos, that's great. There's others that are watching this video because they're interested in starting to reload shot shells. Now, for me personally, it's obviously been a while since I messed with shot shells. Hence the 20 gauge, old Texan. So, getting a brand new start, I'm probably mostly want to shoot some slugs and buckshot and all that kind of thing. So we're going to take a look at this machine. They also make a slugger specifically, but I got this one because it's really all I needed. This thing is packed full of features for a single stage press that has all of the things you want to do on this thing. So you got your shot, your powder, and they each have a container like this that sits up here, and then you have, I'm just going to give you a little close-up of it. This is what it looks like. So you have your decapper to get your old primer out, resize your case, and then this little mechanism right here, this is what puts your new primer in, and this is where you put your wad into your shell, and this is your crimp starter, and this is your crimp finisher, and this is what it looks like. All of those things. That's a close-up of what the whole machine looks like. And it's a very basic, simple machine. A lot of the same stuff, new designs, that kind of thing. So, alright, to set this thing up, everything, you get a bunch of parts and extra parts, and then you have one of the features that I really love about this machine, and a lot of you guys are going to say, wow, that's pretty cool. Anybody that knows anything about these shot loaders. And that is, it has this feature on it where when you have your shot and your powder sitting on here and you need to remove them because you're done, you can flip this thing right down like that and unscrew it and put your cap on, and bingo, and there's your, that's how you fill it right there. Or you can simply fill it with a funnel with shot and powder just like that, and screw it on here and never have to mess with that little tab right there that you pull out. And it's a good thick container. You can see the gauge of it. It's thick. So So the unboxing, as far as it goes, I just pull it out of the box and here it is. And I've kind of screwed around with it a little bit so I could save y'all a little bit of time. Alright, so this is the machine. You pull it out of the box, and be honest with you, this thing was set up, and they're known for being set up out of the box to run what they were intended to run. This one is set up for 2 3/4. You can do 3" as well, just by making a few little adjustments on this machine. No problem. So, but for 2 3/4 is most of what we do. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to put that little plunger and a spring. This is your priming tool, and it's a big old thick washer. Looks like that with a donut. And you set that down in there, and it does what you think it does. It's got a spring and pushes that primer in, and you just drop it right in there like that. It comes with another part that looks like this. It's a sleeve, and if you were doing 3" you would just put this sleeve under it to raise it up. That's it. It comes with 3 powder bushings, 29, 30, and 32 numbers, and you'll learn what those are by looking at the instructions on what those numbers mean for, you know, your different powder that you measure in here. It also comes with 4 mounting bolts and wing nuts, and comes with an Allen wrench. It comes with this right here is your crimping station starter, and this is your crimp finisher, and this is a 6-fold crimper. The one that was on it when I got it was a 8-fold crimper, and that's all very simple, and these just snap on, snap off, just like that. And so I made one little tiny adjustment, just like a couple turns on the sizing die to bring it down just slightly to get the rest of my brass. That was it. Alright, and so I'm going to show you how this thing works, and then we're going to try to load a shell. Don't worry about this mess, this big old mess. I'm trying to hide this part with my body. It's the ambiance, man. So anyway, let's move on. So to load, one of the things, let's talk about the impressiveness of some of the stuff that comes with this. Okay, so if you've never loaded before and you're thinking about it, you're like, I want to load shot, and you know, usually my recommendation to everyone is get a reloading manual, you know, so that you can load shot. And I still recommend that. But if you didn't, and you got the machine, so you got the cart ahead of the horse, so to speak, and you got this loader press before you got the manual and your wads and whatever else, there's enough information in this kit to help you a lot. So let's see what's in here. Alright, there's a little piece of paper that talks about a brass washer. We'll get to that in a minute. And then there's some advertisement stuff. And then there's a beautiful sticker. I love stickers. Yeah, right there. Got a nice sticker. You got your parts list, which is incredibly handy. And powder bushing chart tells you what all those powder bushings and numbers are for different weights of powder that you can drop, you know, manually like that with your powder hopper. Alright, and then it's got your instruction manual. Alright, and it gives you a lot of great information, and you need to just read the whole thing. Unless you're a real man, you just throw this thing away because you don't need it. So there we go. I mean, all the steps of setting it up, And it's kind of short and sweet, more reading than work to do, to be honest with you. And then the other thing, it has a 2021 basic reloading manual for pistol, rifle, and shotgun. Man, a lot of data for shotgun. All right, and that'll include telling you what wads you need with different formulas. But one of the things that I know about you guys, some of you watching this video, they saying, man, boy, when I got into shot loading, it was a mess trying to find the wads. Or I'm getting into shot loading and it's a mess finding the wads. Or I'm looking for wads and formulas before I get the shot machine and it's a mess. Well, that's because when you're looking up for wads, these companies just are a failure in describing what the wads are for. Like, I just want to know the simple stuff, like, is it for a straight wall or a tapered wall case or a shell, right? So I'm going to show you this, and you can screenshot it, and that'll just this information right here. So that's all you need to. You can go ahead and join my Patreon now, because I give you all that value. Honestly, you know, it's like we want to know if it's a straight wall hole. You know, now there's a lot more to it than that, I understand. But man, if you don't know if you got a straight walled hole versus a tapered wall hole, then you're in trouble. So anyway, there we go. That information right there should really help some of you already know that, because I hear you guys talking all over the place. So there's that, and then there's the catalog, which is absolutely beautiful. They've got stuff I've never heard of and didn't even know they had, didn't know they made. And I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a beautiful catalog. It's impressive. You know, if you guys are real shotgunners, you know, for whatever, then that's very helpful. And then it gives you a price list. All right, so there we go. That takes care of some of the paperwork. One of the things that we hear about a lot is this brass washer. So let's just get to that real quick. All right, so so the brass washer. Okay, this is your powder side. This is your shot side. First thing you got to do is just take this nut out of here, and it's got a lock washer on it. Just remove this. And this will give you access to what we're talking about here, and then we're going to load a case, and I'm going to show you what each thing does. It's a bolt with a lock washer in this mechanism. It's nothing to really think about. You got your powder over here, shot over here. So what we want to do is, this is the washer that they're talking about. It's flat on one side and not on the other, flat side down. So the first thing that we want to do is select, don't do this in any other order. Select the powder bushing that you want for the amount of powder that you want. Drop her in there. Okay, pretty simple stuff, man. And then there's a rubber washer in here, and you want to pull that rubber washer out. I'm not sure why they don't just have, well, I do know why they don't have it in there, because they don't know what powder bushing you want. So once you do that, once you take that, here we go. All right. Powder bushing. You drop that powder bushing in there, and then you move that to there, flat side down. It's pretty simple. And then you take your rubber washer, you stick it in the hole, and until it's flush. That's all. Anybody can do that. So I say, so that's it. Okay, and that'll just allow whenever you're using, you may not even need it, but if you're using a fine powder, finer powders, it's likely it might leak. So that's what it's for. That's it. All right. So then we close that back down or up or wherever you want it. It's probably easier to put it on. And we're going to put that back in the hole and screw it down. And we'll do that. And we just tighten that up, that's all. Just like that. It's got a lock washer on it, so, and that's it. Just like that. That's what the fuss is, if anybody's heard about the fuss about that. So here we go. Now, just so this thing don't flop around on me, I'm just going to go ahead and just screw it to a board. I should have done this ahead, but I didn't. So I'm just doing this. That's it. I don't know, I might like it here and leave it. I doubt it though. I don't like this stuff flopping around on me when I'm working on it. So this is my temporary fix for right now. That's it. 4 famous drywall screws. Go ahead and say something. So there we go. So now it's on a board. It's not going to just flop around all over the place. That's all. So let's see. I'm gonna make sure you're in frame here. So we'll just make this thing look right by putting this on here. I'm not even going to put the powder and the shot in there. I'm just going to load it in there manually. But I want you to see what it looks like while we're doing it. I'm not ready to fill this thing up. I'm just going to do a temporary round or two. And so, you know, you just pull this over and it dumps your shot. You push it back, or well, first thing you want to do is pull it over and get your powder in there, and pull it back and get your shot in there. And we'll talk about that in a second. So here it is. We got our we got this mechanism all set up, and let's load a case. All right, here's an old case. It's just a RX standard. It's a straight wall case. All right. So first thing we got to do is knock the old primer right out of it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get you in there a little bit closer, like that, maybe. Yeah. All right. So first thing we're going to do is knock the old primer out and size that case, just like that. All right. Let's see if that sized it right. Yep, that's good. All right. So we knocked the old primer out. Now, they do give you a tray to get your old primers, and it just sets down under a little notch here. All right, so there is that, and you know what I didn't do is all right, guys, I'm a little challenged for components. Everything's hard to find, and I've got some really old CCI primers. Laugh if you want to, but I hope they work. There's the primer. Boom. We're going to just drop it right in the hole. No problem. And take our deprimed and sized case, and we're just going to push it right on down, just like that. And there it is, primed. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm limited in supplies, guys. This is not going to be my norm, but this is what I have at the moment, so I'm working with. I got a little 2-piece design here, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that starter right down in there. Oh, and we got to get our powder in there. And since I don't have my powder in there, I am going to just put it in by hand, and I went ahead and set it up here. There it is, just some unique powder, and we're just gonna take our chances and put it in this way. It's probably not smart. Don't do this. I made it. I don't know if I dropped a grain, but I don't think so. So there we go. So we got our powder in. So the next thing you got to do is you got to get your wad on top of your powder. That's how this works. So you just push that down, and then I got a two-piece design here. So I'm just going to shove it all right down in there, just like that. All right. So now we got our wad in there like that on top of our powder. All right. So now we got to get the shot in there, and I'm going to do another stupid thing. I already weighed out an ounce. That's an ounce of shot right there. An ounce of shot, and we're just going to do another stupid thing right here and pour it in. And I know that's not smart, but I did it anyway. And there we go. There's our shot. And I am going to go ahead and, it looks like to me I could probably use a little more room, a little less room in there. So I'm just going to add this is a cutout that I've done. I've got a little punch for a 12 gauge cardboard, and I just make these. Alright. And so I'm just going to go ahead and push that down in there over the shot, which is actually best to do because you don't have such a mess and it makes a better crimp. So there we go. We got the shot in there, and now we're going to start the crimp. And this will actually index to find the natural crimp on the case. And you just set it all the way down. And there is the crimp that started. And then we're going to put it over there on the finishing crimp, and we're going to let it have it all the way down. And I know you professionals out there are going to say that's not the most perfect, and you're right, but boy is it good, you know. So it's probably, I could have probably added another card in there maybe, but you know what, I'm telling you, to me that's wonderful. You know, it does have a little bit of a swirl in there, as some of you guys know what that is, but I'd rather have a swirl than a hole. So there you go. And that's a loaded round, guys, just like that. I just pulled it out of the box. I made one minor adjustment right there and loaded a shell just that fast. All right, so there you go. I hope I'm not missing anything. I usually am. But I'll put a link in the description for the pertinent information. And there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.